Good morning, everyone. So, I decided to come live very briefly this morning, and I would be doing that for the next 9 days. We'll be talking about the fruits of the Spirit, and in this series, I'll tag um, the fruits or the gifts. The fruits or the gifts. The Bible talks about us having the fruits of the Spirit, not because the gifts are not important, but it is because the fruits are what actually prove that we have evolved in our relationship with God, just beyond that point where we say, I am born again, I'm a Christian woman, man, teenager. We have grown to a point where we are allowing God take charge of our lives. And that's the best way I can define what the fruits of the Spirit are. The first fruit we'll be talking about this morning, that's what we'll be talking about today, is love. I decided to start the series because in engaging with teenagers, I have observed, because I have them, I get to talk with them every day. And one of the most important things that any Christian teenager would benefit from is from understanding what the fruits are and how they can apply it in their lives. The first one I'm talking about is love. What is love? The Bible defines love in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 as being patient, kind, something that does not insist on its own way, that cares for someone else deeply just as it cares for itself. That's what love is. And love, like I posted a few days ago, is not butterflies in the belly. It's not dopamine, which is responsible primarily for most of those things we feel when we say we're in love. We feel a skipping in the heart. We feel like, oh, my heart is dropping and all of that. So we tend to define love by those very beautiful feelings that come with falling in love. You can see I'm wearing red this morning to depict the fruit that we are talking about. So the fruit of the Spirit as love goes far, far beyond the feelings that we feel in our heart, the thoughts of, oh, I want to be with this person, I enjoy this person's company, I cannot live without you, and all of that. Love is more of a decision to be there for someone, to care for someone, to place someone's needs just as important as your own. That is what love is. And anything that is not kind, anything that is not patient, anything that insists on its own way is not love. So, just like we have the characteristics of living things, those characteristics is what determines if this thing is a living thing. We also have characteristics of love, and it's clearly defined in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. If we have not studied that particular chapter, we need to take time to study it. Dear teenager, your hormones are not equal to love. Your hormones are beautiful, your feelings are valid, but they are not all encompassing as to what love is. God has shown us the ultimate definition of what love is. And that ultimate definition is in sacrifice. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas, because you love. And that is the greatest point that we get to when we claim to love. And in love, I'm not only going to talk about loving other people, I'm going to talk about loving ourselves, because truthfully, you cannot explore certain levels if you do not understand how to self-love, how to love yourself. Now, self-love is not the same thing as selfishness, mind you. Self-love is understanding that you need to create time and take care of the person that you are. so that you can be of better service to those around you. So self-love is not a case of, oh, I trash every other person, I'm the only one that is important. No, that's not what we are talking about. Self-love is, I love myself enough to take care of my body, to take care of my spirit, to treasure my soul, to give it what it needs. I love myself enough to do all of that, not just for myself, but because I am supposed to be an outlet of love to other people. So if I do not invest that love in myself, how can I begin to express that to other people? So in loving others, we have to love ourselves. And like the most important commandment in the Bible, according to scriptures, is loving God. Loving God comes first. You see, I started from loving others, which I think is number 3. Loving yourself, which is number 2. And then loving God, which is number 1. When Jesus was explaining, he said that there is an important commandment, the most important commandment, which is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your minds. And he said the second one is like unto it. The second one is to love your neighbor. He could have just left it there and said, the second important commandment is to love your neighbor. He said, no. The second most important commandment is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. I think that implies that you will have loved yourself enough. And then the love you have for yourself will be a standard by which you love those around you. So, the fruits of the Spirit, I know there are 9 of them: love, joy, peace, faithfulness, kindness, goodness, steadfastness, self-control. We'll be talking about them in the coming 9 days. And today we have talked about love. Love is of God. Love is God. Love is beautiful. Love is kind. Love is not butterflies in the belly. No, it goes beyond that. Love is a decision to do right. It's a decision to stand for what is right. It's a decision to care deeply for someone or for people enough to want to sacrifice for their joy. So imagine if you loved God in that manner and you loved yourself enough to want to sacrifice for the joy, like Jesus Christ, for the joy that was set ahead of him. He endured death on the cross. So he not only loved God, but he loved himself enough to make that sacrifice for the glory that was set ahead of him. And in loving himself, he loved us. And it is that example that we should follow as Christians. And it is that example that I hope every day to follow. And I hope you join me on this journey of love. Thank you. I said it was going to be a brief one. So it is just morning light this morning with Auntie Anne. And I am delighted to be here. Very, very short and brief this morning. I want to remind us that it is August. August is almost here. It is summer season or holiday season. And part of what we want to do for our children is to ensure that we engage them and build them up with the right kinds of exposure that would help them become better people. And this holiday is not the time to just keep them in front of the screen. They're watching screen morning to night. They see all kinds of things from the television. They are on phones and gadgets, just on the screen. We need to intentionally create activities to engage our children positively to make them better. And part of what we do to contribute to that is Teen Special Boot Camp. Every year we uncamp for a number of days to build teenagers, to invest in them, to retreat with them, to teach them, to mentor them, to be there for them, and to build skills. Skills are important, skills are valid, skills are vital. And you want to make sure that if you can bring your children to Benin City, or you live in Benin or Edo State or its environs, join us this time, Teen Special Bootcamp 3.0 Refire. It's always such a joy, such a joy, and I am excited to have them on camp this year. And the activities this year are just mind-blowing. I'll drop the link to more information about camp for those that want to register for camp. You can get information in the comment section. I'll drop a link, and then you can follow up to have that conversation with us today. Thank you so very much for joining this session. If you're catching a replay, thank you for catching a replay. Thank you for following us. Thank you for encouraging this wonderful work that we are doing. My name is Ame Ajayi. I am a teens life coach and mentor, and you want me to be in the corner of your children and teenagers. Trust me, at this stage in their lives, they need the third party influence more than you can ever understand. You could be the best of parents, but at this point in time, your children need a mentor like me in their corner. Send them to us. Let them join our free programs. Let them be part of what we are doing. And if you can't bring them to camp, why not? We will be waiting for you in camp. Waiting. All right, guys. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and I know we are stepping out, going to our different endeavors. Have a blissful day. Have a wonderful day. Love and joy always. God bless you.